Hey guys, Breakman Z here, and apologies for no Z reviews last week. I didn't really have anything to review, so I just decided to take a little break. Such is life, and don't worry, if you do like the Z reviews, there will be a new one coming out on Friday, as per usual. Anyways, the point of this video is doing a kind of comparison between digital gaming and analog gaming. What are the two, you may ask? Well, I'll explain what they mean to me. Digital gaming is obviously something like a video game. You know, basically, that's it. Analog gaming, that's like a tabletop RPG, like say Dungeons and Dragons, a card game, Magic the Gathering, or something like miniatures, like most recently the World of Warcraft miniatures, or something like that. Something where you actually manipulate stuff in the real world. I mean, obviously you manipulate stuff for digital gaming, but that's not what I have in mind. So basically, those are the two platforms that we're going to talk about. Uh, this is something that I've been kind of thinking about in recent weeks. And I will say there's definitely a big difference between analog and digital gaming. I mean, obviously, besides uh, the obvious platforms. With digital gaming, you pretty much have everything all drawn out, all pre-rendered, all that other good shit. So really, there's not much in the way of imagination. I mean, yeah, there's the idea of going to fanfics to expound on a certain thing or what if, but we're not going to get into that. With analog gaming, especially with something like Dungeons and Dragons, your imagination just takes flight there. I mean, you're pretty much being told what's going on via the dungeon master, but your imagination is definitely just forming this world, and you imagine yourself as this different character. In fact, a friend of mine did a pretty good poem about that, and someone else read it at a con in a few months ago, I believe. I'll make sure to post up a link to view that. And I think it's a good poem. But anyways, getting back to the point. There's definitely a lot of imagination used in analog gaming. I mean, with something like Magic the Gathering, or like I said before, the World of Warcraft miniatures, or any miniatures like Warhammer or something, we're not being absolutely specific here. Yeah, there's a little more in the way of, like, you have an idea of what they look like, but like as far as the battles go, you're definitely like imagining that, like if you're a creative person. Uh, Another kind of big difference is that you can, with analog gaming, you're pretty much going wherever you want, and I mean obviously within the restrictions of the game, as set by the dungeon master, but still, you have a lot of openness to that. And a pretty good example of that in the digital world is something like the Elder Scrolls series, especially Oblivion, or Fallout 3, a game in which I've put a little bit of time in, probably not enough. It's one of those games I've got to get back to at some point. A big, when I put things out of my reach. Uh, a different, with a lot of digital games, and I apologize for that little stumble there. But with a lot of digital games, like I'm sticking with RPGs here, uh, they are kind of linear. Like a perfect example, Dragon Quest IV, a game I'm also working on and I'll do a review about. But with something like Dragon Quest, or let's just kind of open the floodgates a little. Halo 3, they are pretty kind of linear. Like you're told, okay, you got to go from here to here, and do this. Now with another game I have, Fable 2, I didn't grab the box for that, or I'd hold that up. But with Fable 2, it is kind of the same. Like you have the quest to do, but you're a little more open, and as far as when you want to get that done. Same kind of thing with Fallout 3 or Oblivion. And I mean, when you start off, you just have this little thing to kind of get oriented to the controls and whatnot. But then after a certain point, you're just pretty much chucked out into the world and said, "Good luck." And there's just so much you can do. Like you can go over here and beat up these people, or go over there and save those people, or be a thief and just steal shit. There's definitely a lot of openness to those games, and I like that. I like openness. And it definitely lets you choose how you want to play the game. And I do respect that about analog gamers. One of my best friends is an analog gamer, and he has a lot of RPG books, and he does his own little show on Dementia Radio, a station I'm a proud part of. And he does his own little RPG report, and that's cool. I'm glad that I helped give him that idea. But I definitely like the idea that analog gamers have that kind of freedom to be more open and about what they want to do. And I think developers for the digital front are kind of catching on to this. Because obviously with something like World of Warcraft or again Fallout 3 or something like that, they're kind of being a little more open about, okay, you want to go this way or that way, that's fine. You want to go over here and do that, that's fine by us. I think that whole kind of got a little bit of an idea with that with Left 4 Dead. Obviously the levels are linear, but with the AI director, it helps to spice things up. So it's not quite the same game twice. And I also know that there are some RPGs in which you pretty much go in and the dungeons change every time you go in there. And that's cool. It kind of adds a little variety to things. Well, that's about all I can think of at the moment. If you guys have any comments, or you want to make video responses, that's cool. By all means, I encourage that. It lets me know that you guys are paying attention and you'll like this. So I think with that, I'm gonna head on out, because I got games to work on. Currently working on Dragon Quest IV. Hopefully I can get a good chunk of that done so I can do a review on that. So, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.